Welcome to NRL Reactions Round 5, where we believe every game of the round can be described in just 3 words. Let's go. Raiders versus Sharks, miracle for milk. Even a Hudson Young sin binning couldn't stop this green machine. 2 points down with just 2 minutes remaining. They looked to the gods for a prayer, and the prayer was answered with a try of the year contender to snatch victory in the nation's capital. The Sharks could do very little to stifle some offloads, and it really appears that Hines wants to be the dominant half out there, leaving Trindle with little opportunity to shine. I think Hines might need to go back to being more of a running half. He's never been a 7, nor will he ever be a 7. I just feel like Trindle needs to take over that kicking game, really direct the team around the park, and then Hines needs to play in that 6 role, that second receiver role, where I think he can be most effective. And this Sharks side, they're one of the most talented teams on paper, but 5 weeks into the season, they only have 2 wins to their name. They were definitely not expecting that. Panthers versus Cowboys, all dynasties end. 16 errors and Cleary back into the side proved ineffective for the Panthers against the Cowboys on Friday night. The errors, though, aren't my issue with this team. The biggest one is that they've conceded 20 points in all 5 games this season. That trademark defense that we've seen for the last 5 seasons is non-existent right now, and their next man up strategy is starting to take its toll. You can see on their faces that they do not have the belief to go for a 5th premiership in a row, and their play is definitely backing it up at this point in time. They're on 2 competition points through 5 rounds of football, and it would take a tremendous turnaround from here to see them there on that first weekend of October. Yes, the refs played a part, but they aren't out there holding the ball, and they aren't making the tackles. Rabbitohs versus Roosters, the freak returns. The Rabbitohs were down to 14 men for at least 30 minutes of this game, with Ravalawa, Walker, and Humphreys all succumbing to hamstring injuries. The Roosters should have run away victors in this game, but this Rabbitohs side, under coach Wayne Bennett for the second time, is made of sterner stuff, and we saw that play out on Friday night, which left the Roosters shell-shocked. They should have put more points on the board, but they simply didn't. Latrell Mitchell out there was thrust into a hybrid/centre role in his first game back from injury this season, and he kicked his way out of trouble for this Rabbitohs side, and the pass that he laid on for Tass for that winning try was just a chef's kiss. Eels versus Dragons, get that monkey. Parramatta got a win, but they will have to back it up in order to get off the bottom of the ladder. And with 20 minutes to go, this Dragon side simply stopped playing football. And the Eels proved that you can't do that against anyone in this league, or they'll make you pay. Riles, first win as a head coach, and the monkey's off the back, but there's still plenty of work to do. Titans versus Dolphins, Fins finally up. This game from the outset had upset written all over it. The Titans, in my opinion, have had a couple of victories gifted to them by teams in recent weeks. But you would say that their team on paper is, especially their forward pack, one of the best in the competition. But some of the performances from, let's say, their more high-paid players at the club are definitely cause for concern. The Dolphins should be on more than one win this season, and it's good to see them get off the bottom of the ladder. But just like the Eels, it's a good start, but I need to see more. Broncos versus Tigers, Saturday night rodeo. A wild night at Suncorp filled with errors and virtually no defense played. Jeez, this Broncos side looks fantastic when everything clicks. Adam Reynolds getting injured is an eye-opener into what his potential future looks like at the club. He is about to turn 35 in July, and him going off the field, and especially in recent weeks, has shown how important he actually is to their current setup. The Tigers held firm for most of this game, even though they did lose a few players to injury. There's a real foundation there to build something quite special, and I just pray that their front office doesn't bottle it. Manly versus Storm, headed for exits. An absolute track meet in Manly. The Storm were like a raging waterfall that the leaky dam just couldn't stop. The Storm averaged 38 points the week after suffering a loss, and they made sure to hit that mark before taking off some of their genuine stars. Something that caught my eye that I'd like to highlight was DCE smiling after Cooler's second try at 48-18. Now, I don't know whether it was intentional or genuine bemusement, but for me, it's not a good look, especially when he's just announced in recent weeks that he will not be playing at the club beyond this season. Although, I guess it would be hard for him to take this team seriously after the performance that they just put up. Dogs versus Knights, big, fat, 0. The Dogs have now conceded a collective 14 points in their last 3 games. The way they pummel and smother, scramble in defence is genuinely scary at times, and you just knew that if they stuck to that game plan, it was going to pay some dividends. The Knights began to break physically and then mentally, unable to crack the Belmore curtain. Now, who does that style of play remind you of? Panthers fans have been saying for a couple of years now, if it's so easy to replicate, why don't you go and do it? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've found our copycats. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any of our latest content, and I'll catch you on the next one.